It's obviously been on the calendar a long time now. You would have been looking forward to this, a special occasion against the Lions. Now that it's actually here, what sort of, I'm sure you're laser focused, but what sort of emotions does it stir for you?
Someone asked me at the start of the week, does this bring back some great memories? And I said to them, I haven't really thought about it in that way. I think most coaches are generally quite professional. So generally I'm thinking, right, how am I prepping my next coaching session in the best way? And I honestly mean that, like I honestly do. Maybe when we get to game day, might feel a bit different. But at the moment it just feels like I'm prepping for a normal test week, albeit with probably some bigger surroundings, if that makes sense.
You've had a really good look at the Lions now, a lot of moving parts and bodies in and out to try and work out who you're actually going to be playing against on Saturday, but have you got a fairly clear picture from your perspective with the forwards and the line-out, what you're going to be up against?
Yeah, well, I think so. I'm always guessing in a way. In a way, you'll take an educated guess. Some quality players in there. I know their coaches very well, so a quality coaching team, and I do think you find any Lions tour, and you probably saw that in the first game against Argentina, it can take a bit of time to click, and as they go on, they generally get a bit more cohesive and better, so we're expecting a very, very, very well-drilled forwards pack.
There've been a couple of set-piece wobbles across the tour games, maybe a little bit more than you'd expect against the Super Rugby teams. Do you agree with that assessment? Is there chinks in the armour there, set-piece time?
Yeah, look, I think the scrum has generally been strong. I thought the line-up was shaky at the very start, and in general that's improved. It's been good in general, so I don't think that they've shown many chinks, if I'm honest. And I think I'm expecting them, especially with a full training week, now we're no midweek game, to be very well prepped.
Yeah, specifics are probably difficult given it was 12 years ago, but can you give an insight to your players about the Lions mindset and why it's different? Is it different? Are you able to share that kind of perspective of what they're thinking about in their rooms and talking about in their rooms that may be different to a normal test week?
Yeah, look, I certainly shared some things. We had a training camp back in January. I did then. I'm very wary. It's not about me, but if I can give something valuable to our players, I'll certainly do that. I've just got to make sure what I give is valuable. So what I'm probably giving in terms of that, it's probably less than you'd think. And as we're getting closer to the tests, it's probably again gets less and less there.
Is that in the vault, or can you share anything that you share?
Absolutely not sharing, not a chance. Not a chance. No, look, just your normal stuff. I think in any of these big games, it's still the same game. The circus around it is bigger. You're all part of that circus, by the way. But it is, the circus around it is bigger. The moments in every game matter a little bit more. But that's the case the higher any level you go. What you will see, I think now, is probably from Thursday onwards, more people arriving in Brisbane, and you'll see that throughout the next 2 weeks. So maybe our players haven't seen it yet, the amount of support that will be around. I'm expecting that to really kick on and improve if our lads go for a walk in the city from Thursday.
Is there anyone in the squad not available for selection? There's been a few injury clouds.
Yeah, there was at first, but lads are training now. We'll get into the team really on Thursday, and I think boys seem to be progressing well. We're certainly happy at the moment with how they're chipping away. So hopefully we'll have a full bill of health.
Skelton was pretty optimistic about his own chances, but Rob Valentini seems a little bit cloudier. Has he been able to train fully? Where's he at?
Yeah, look, he was did some training today. He is a quality player, like everybody knows, and him and Will, look, we're very hopeful he'll be available for selection.
Is there any weighing up of if someone's not 100% whether they go into this test or that it's still a 3-game series? Do you know what I mean? Is there a
yeah, I get you. It probably doesn't matter that much that it's a 3-game series. It's probably more so, and this would be with any team, I reckon, is someone fit and ready to perform in a test. In terms of saving people for a series, I don't think you'd ever really do that. It's more just if someone's fit and perform, can they improve a team? Well, yeah, we'll get them out there then.
Geoff, having Will Skelton fit and available is a wonderful problem to have, but it does complicate things at the line out time, having a big...
It certainly does. Yeah, it certainly does.
How does a player like Jeremy Williams then come into even more responsibility? We see he runs a very tight defensive line out the force, statistically one of the best in the world. How important a role will he have through the coming series?
Yeah, but look, if he's selected, he'll have an important role. Like we know, Jez is a quality player, but there's lots of guys, all of the locks, guys in the back row. Like someone like Harry Wilson does a great job as well in that area. You're right, it's different when Will's in there. He brings different attributes that other guys don't have. Certainly around the static excursion points, you know, the scrum, the maul, the other bits, the collision. Just makes my job slightly harder, that's all.
What makes Jeremy such a good defensive line-out operator? Obviously, we know he runs a good ship and super.
Yeah.
What are the particular skills that you've seen him bring?
Good read of the game, good understanding of what he's looking for, and then when you combine that with a good explosive player in his jump and lift, that's a great combination.
Nothing further. Thanks all.